I think from time to time, we've all dealt with this. And this is such a major emotion we go through. This is the ultimate question of, why do evil people manifest? Why does it seem like someone's being bad? They're not doing the best thing in life, but yet they have everything they want. And then when you relate it to manifesting, they have their dream car, their dream job. They live in the best area of town. They have their dream career. All the while, listen to this. All the while, like I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing all the good things. I'm being moral. I'm being ethical in everything I do. I'm doing the best thing for people. But it seems like the harder I try, life isn't really going my way. And this is a core thing we're going to address in this video, just because is there an advantage of being bad? Is there an advantage of not doing the best thing to speed up manifesting? And tribe, if you're new here, welcome to Live Life on Their Terms. I'm Chad, by the way, so let's jump over here and talk about this. And what we have to understand is why evil people seem to get everything they want. It really comes down to this basic truth. Listen, I want you to listen to this very, very closely. Reality doesn't judge morals. It only responds to focus plus action plus expectation. You see, what happens is that we get all caught up in morals and ethics, doing the best thing for people. And I'm not saying don't do that, okay? But then we kind of flip in the religious factor, depending upon our background, is no matter what religion you're in or you believe in, okay, the trap we fall into, the trap is we all fall into this moral high ground. Is that the better I do, the more good I do for people, that I'm going to be rewarded. I'm going to be rewarded in heaven, and I'm going to be rewarded on earth. Okay. And when we don't really see that with our eyes, and it all starts to fall apart, and we start to look outside of ourselves, and we start whining and complaining about, well, why does Joe Blow over here? He's an attorney, and I know 100% he rips off his clients. He don't do the best thing. He shows up to court unprepared, but yet he's living his dream life. And this is the core reason I really want you to understand, okay? When we call people evil or we call them bad, they're being a bad boy, a bad girl a little bit. Usually they have these three traits. Listen. They want something specific. Number two is they don't feel guilty about wanting it. We'll talk about number two here in a second. And the third one, they act without hesitation. What you have to understand is most good people fail at all three of these, my friends. And let's go back to number two here for a second. When I say kind of an evil person or a bad person, they don't feel guilty. Listen to this. You ever ask somebody for help and you really needed help? Maybe you needed a babysitter. Maybe you were moving. No matter what it is, you ask somebody to help you and they don't even have to think about it. They're just like, nope, sorry, can't do it. And the whole demeanor is they don't care. You understand? And this could be a person that you helped out yourself many, 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 many times. And when you go to them, it just looks like they didn't even think. They didn't even wait for you to finish your sentence. And they're like, nope, sorry. And it's just like nothing. It's just like you've never helped them before. Okay, what you have to understand is there's no guilt. There's no guilt there, my friends. Okay, if they want to do it, they do it. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. And they bring no guilt. There's no guilty pressure there. And since they have none of this guilty pressure build up, and we'll talk about this more in a second, things manifest quicker to them. Okay, so here's the hard truth I want you to walk away with. You see, good people, you're trying to be good, you're trying to be ethical, you're trying to be moral, okay? See, the whole problem is you doubt yourself, you worry about being fair, you feel bad for wanting more, you ask permission, you second guess every single move. And isn't it so true, like when I say you feel bad about wanting more? Okay, now this is something we've been taught growing up, either directly or indirectly by our parents or peers or environment, is that We feel bad for wanting our dream house. We feel bad to wanting to self-improve. We feel bad because we want more money. Okay. You have to understand, like a bad person, or the cliche of them being bad, there's no guilt around it. That's what I mean. Okay, they want what they want. They want their dream house, and they don't care what you think. And they truly don't care. You understand? Listen to it this way. They're not attached. They're not attached to the outcome. They're not attached to people. They're not attached to their environment. They're not attached to the outcome. They just want it. There's no guilt around it. They just know they want it and they expect it. And then it ends up coming to us. You see, all the while, we constantly struggle with worry, doubt, and fear. We worry about if we're doing good or bad to somebody. We worry about being fair. Maybe we're an empath. And we've been taught that we need to give up ourselves to please another person. Lots of times when we talk about being an empath, this is really excellent work if you're an empath. Because if you're an empath, you're on the severe side of you always give up yourself to please other people. Okay, you give up your hobbies, what you want to do. You give up your frame, your standards or boundaries, non-negotiables, just to please somebody else. Okay. Now the concept of being bad, that lots of times we have to go to the other extreme. We have to be bad for a little bit, because the reason why I say bad, because we're going to feel bad. Okay. When someone asks me, hey, Chad, you want to go shopping with me? If I don't really want to do it, I say no, and feel no guilt around it. Get used to saying no. Okay. This will help you out, especially if you're an empath, you struggle with this stuff. Okay. What you got to get used to is saying no and being completely okay with saying no. Because when you're completely okay with saying no, you're unattached. And this plays a bigger picture when we start talking about manifesting. Okay, my friends? And listen to this. Reality responds to decision, not kindness. I'll say this one more time. Reality responds to your decision. It's not responding to if you're a good person. It's not responding to if you're a Mr. Nice Guy. It's not responding to if you're kind. It's literally just responding to your decision. Listen, you decide what you want and you take it. You expect it and you move on from it, and the cycle continues. Listen to this. This is exactly how your subconscious mind works. Remember, I've told you in other videos, your subconscious mind is very, very impersonal, meaning that your subconscious mind don't care about you. It's just giving you what you give it, and it doesn't care. Okay, if you give it good things, it will return good things to you. If you give it bad things, it will return bad things to you. There's no moral code here with your subconscious mind. It's a universal law. Listen, all universal laws, they work on polar opposites. If you put good out, good comes back. If you put evil out, evil comes back. It's black and white. There's no like deep down, well, I'm a good person. Okay, this is what we've learned is if I'm a good person, or I can manipulate God and God's going to bless me because I'm a better person than this person over here. It doesn't work like that, because it works on your feeling state and your emotions. If you constantly feel guilty, well, that's your feeling state. And that when you feel guilt, look at it this way. When you feel guilt around things all the time, it's like you have a shield and you're shielding all the good things coming to you, because guilt creates friction. Friction is like force, and force negates from you. You understand? Like when you feel guilty and it's friction, it's like you're attached to it. Okay. It's another way of attachment. My friends, listen, when you're attached to anything, when you don't let go of anything, everything repels from you. So this is the great skill when we perceive someone as bad. This is a great skill they have. It's because they just don't care. Okay. They don't care your opinion. Okay. They don't care if they're nice to you or not. They don't care if they offend you. Okay. They just know what they want and they want it. They know what they want. They expect to get it. They let it go because they expect to get it, because I'm worthy, and they just move on. Then they want something else. They expect to get it. And next thing you know, things are coming to them. And I've kind of already explained this, but I liked how I wrote it out here. You see, manifesting is not reward based. Should I say that again? Manifesting is not reward based. You see, we live our life like we're going to be rewarded if we're good. Okay. Now, we could have learned this by our parents. We could have been brought up in church and religion where this is what we're kind of taught. Maybe directly or indirectly. Maybe it's just something we picked up on. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you have to be a good person to please God. Okay. If you're not a good person, then God's going to throw you out of heaven. You know, you're going to lose your salvation. You know, you have to be perfect and good and moral and everything else so you can please everybody, so you can please the universe. Okay, listen to this. Manifesting is not reward based. What do I mean by that? Listen, there is no system that says you're good, so here's success. Listen, I love this phrase. Reality works like gravity. Step forward and you move forward. Step back and you fall behind. It doesn't care why you stepped. This is like a metaphor for your subconscious mind. Listen to it one more time, but compare it to your subconscious mind, how your subconscious mind thinks and takes details from you. Listen to this. Reality works like gravity. Your subconscious mind works like gravity, my friends. Okay. Step forward, you move forward. Meaning you give your subconscious mind a command and it takes action on it. It doesn't care what the action is. It doesn't care what the command is. It doesn't care if it's good or bad for you. It's just going to do it. Okay. Step forward, you move forward. You step back, you fall backward. It doesn't care why you stepped. And I know all this information seems unfair. I know it seems unfair because you're doing your best and it's still not working for you. Okay. It doesn't seem fair. You have to set that aside. Okay, this is the raw emotion. What I'm saying when you're watching this video, you might not agree with me. You might say, well, Chad, it's unfair. I am doing the best thing. I believe you. I'm doing the best thing. Okay, I'm doing things moral and ethical, okay, across everything I do. And it seems like things are slow as hell. You understand? Why other people that I know really don't do the right thing deep down, but yet things are coming to them. And listen, when it's unfair, it's because you were taught to be patient, be humble, don't want too much, don't upset people, don't take risk. And listen, my friends, all these rules, all it does is slow you down. That's all it does. It slows you down to success. It slows you down to manifesting. It doesn't even slow you down to manifesting. It actually blocks manifesting. And listen, people who break the rules, you have to be a rule breaker, my friends. Okay. I think I have a video on that. I have an awesome video on that. Look that up on my channel. Watch that video. Okay. You got to break the rules. Okay. You want to manifest? Okay. You want to break that chain, you being an empath, you're giving up yourself. Well, you have to break some rules inside of you. So people who break the rules, listen to this. I'll come back up here. They're not patient, my friends. They're not patient. They just take action. They know what they want. They take action and they know they're going to get it. Bottom line. Okay. They're not humble. You understand? Yes, they're humble, but to a certain point, they're not humble, meaning you're disguising being humble of just being mediocre. Okay, you're describing being humble, meaning that you don't have standards or boundaries and non-negotiables. You understand? You're thinking being humble is, well, I'll just put up with my car. I don't really need my dream car. See, you're kind of using that word humble in a different way. You see, a bad boy, an evil person, they're still humble, but they want what they want and they're okay with it. You understand? They want their dream car. They want their 911 Porsche that costs $250,000. They want it because they want it. I don't need to explain myself to you. I want it. Bottom line. If you don't like it, then that's your own problem. That's really how they think. Okay. It has nothing to do with me. Your issues have nothing to do with me. That's how they really think. Okay. Because lots of times we're twisting these words around. We're taking these words to the extreme. It's like when you're an empath and you give up a version of yourself just to please other people, you're being extreme. Okay. Okay. Now you're extreme over here. Then you've taken these definitions of being humble and guess what you do? You're extreme with it. You understand what you're doing. Okay. So when you break the rules, it's not about when you're trying to oh, I don't want too much. Well, you're breaking the rules. You want abundance. Abundance is your birthright, baby. Okay. I get everything I want. If I want $1 million, I get $1 million. If I want to be a multimillionaire, I'm okay with that. That's what I want. Okay. To other people, like, well, Chad, you're just all about money. No, money solves things. You know what I mean? Money brings prosperity to me. Money means I can help other people. You understand what I'm saying? And when you break the rules, you don't care if you upset people. Now, if I purposely upset you, I'll purposely cross a boundary. You know, I'm going to come to you and apologize. I'll be the first person to apologize. But at the same time, okay, I'm not going to be upset because I upset you. Because it's kind of the concept of that's your own shit to deal with. That's your own junk to deal with. Okay, if you don't like what I'm saying, it has nothing to do with me. That's the concept of yourself that you have to work through. Okay, you got to stop. And this, my friends, is something I've had to really work on. You got to stop putting your fingers on your shoulders. You got to stop wearing your emotions on your shoulders. You got to stop taking offense to everything. Okay, because it's only holding you back. That's bottom line. Okay. And on top of it, this is probably a success in manifesting you got to take risk. Okay. You're not going to have everything figured out. Okay. You got to believe in yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing a bad person, the cliche, is going to do. They believe in themselves to the core. They believe abundance is the birthright. They believe to the core that what I want, I always get. Bottom line, I expect it. I know it's going to come to me. I don't know how it's going to come to me, but it's going to come to me. Okay, and they just believe it to the core. They believe it so much they just let it go. They naturally just let it go, but they totally believe it. Okay, the reason why manifesting doesn't work for you is because you honestly don't believe. You don't believe you deserve the life you want. You don't believe you can have your dream car. Okay, to your core of you, the secret you don't believe it. Okay. So like in this video, you're going to see really fast is that it doesn't have nothing to do with if you're a good person or a bad person. It really comes down to the basics. Okay. What you to the core believe. Okay. And before we wrap up this video, I'll share this section. I was going to delete it, but it just says it in a different way, but I like how it says it. Is why most people block themselves. You know, why are you blocking your manifestations? Why are you blocking your dream life? Why are you blocking everything that you want? Okay, now listen. You know, you block everything is because you spend all your energy on morals and meaning. I do the best thing. And you overthink, you overanalyze, you're very analytical about it. You have fear of judgment. You fear what other people think, which holds you back. Okay, and it's even more emotions wrapped up in there. Instead, this is what you should be doing. You execute, repeat, that creates momentum. What does execute mean? Is you decide what you want and you let it be. Okay, you decide what you want, you expect to get what you decide, and that creates momentum because you really expect to get what you want because you totally believe it. Okay, that creates momentum in the universe with the universal laws, and you repeat the cycle. You move on from it. I want my dream house. You totally believe you're going to get it. You know exactly what you want. You expect it's going to come. You don't know how it's going to come. You don't know when it's going to come, but you expect it to come, and you let it go. You let it go. You detach from it, and you move on. Then down the road, you want something else. I want my dream car. You know exactly what you want. You know what the color, the model, the make, the year. Okay. You expect it. You don't feel guilty for having it. You don't care what people think. You just know, hey, I want it. It makes me excited when I get my dream car. Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the why. It's just the simple fact that you ask, believe, and receive. Interesting. Okay. Now that's coming straight out of the Bible. That's the main universal law. You ask for what you want. You believe you're going to get it. You expect you're going to get it. And then you receive it. Okay, my friends? As we're wrapping up this video. See, evil people, bad people don't manifest because they're evil. They don't manifest because they're bad. They don't manifest because they take advantage of people. Okay. It has nothing to do with morals. It has nothing to do with what they're doing. Listen. They manifest because they decide fast. They decide exactly what they want. Bottom line, that doesn't matter. They don't doubt themselves. They don't ask for permission, and they keep moving on. They keep moving forward. They don't give a shit. Okay? Listen, They decide what they want. They decide fast. They don't doubt themselves. They don't let worry, doubt, and fear creep in. Okay. Their confidence is so high that they just expect it. They know it's going to come to them. Okay. They don't ask permission. They don't ask 20 of their friends, should I do this? Should I want this? Okay. It's just an answer they ask in themselves. I want it. That makes me happy. Okay. And they keep moving forward. They move on with their life. That's what it means. Okay. And listen to this. If you remove guilt and hesitation, your results change immediately. That's the rule. That's just simple cause and effect, my friends. Okay. That's where I'll kind of leave this video. Okay. I'll repeat it one more time for you because you need to listen to this. And if you lasted this long in the video, you need to listen to this. Okay. You need to hear it again. Listen, if you remove guilt and hesitation from your life, your results change immediately. That's the rule. That's just simple cause and effect, my friends. Listen, what's law of cause and effect? I did a great video on that. Look it up on my channel. Watch that video. But this is the core thing, is if you don't like the effect is your life. The effect are the circumstances in your life. Everything you go through in your life, good or bad, that's the effect. Okay. The cause is you. If you want to change the effect, you want to change the circumstances in your life, you got to change the cause, which is you. Okay. You got to change. It's from within out, my friends. This is why everything flips back to the law of cause and effect. But anyway, tribe, hopefully that helped, because I kind of thought about this because, it's something that I think about from time to time. You know what I mean? It's like, we're trying so hard. Okay. We're putting in the effort. We want to do the best thing. We want to do the best thing for people, and we should do the best thing. Don't twist what I'm saying the wrong way. Don't think I'm saying to take advantage of people, scheme people. I'm not saying that. Okay. But I'm going down to the core traits of what we perceive a bad person is doing. You understand? It's because it has nothing to do when you're trying to manifest in success and in life, getting our dream life. It has nothing to do with them being bad. It has nothing to do with them not doing the best thing for people. It literally just comes down to universal law. Okay. And universal law is they decide what they want. There's no hesitation there. Nothing blocking that. Their confidence is so high, they expect they're going to get what they want. Okay. They decide, they expect it. There's no attachment to it at all. They just naturally let it go. And then it comes into their life. Okay. That's something you should be doing. Okay. It just comes down to those core basics. The core basics are this. Okay. Is you decide what you want. Okay. You want what you want. Okay. It doesn't matter what 20 other people think. It doesn't matter what people think that don't even know you. It doesn't matter what your family thinks. That's what you want. That's what you want to do. It could be a career. It could be a career change. Okay. You might want to quit your job because it's not satisfying you anymore. Okay. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter what your family thinks about it. It doesn't matter what 20 of your friends think about it. It's what you think about it. So you decide, you expect what you want out of it. Since you decide and you expect it, you let it go. You let it go. You plant the seed. You let it germinate. Okay. You don't control the how because you know it's going to come to you in due time, because you always get what you want in life, my friends. We all get what we want in life. Okay. But it comes down to this simple thing: ask, believe, and receive. Okay. That's what evil people are doing. That's what bad people are doing. It's not because they're bad or evil. It has nothing to do with that. It's literally just because they ask for what they want, they believe they're going to get it, and they receive it. Boom. It's simple. But other than that, friends, tribe, comment below. I'd love to hear your comments on this. Let's chat this up in the comment section. I'll try my best to be as proactive as I can in the comments on this one, because I know this one it brings up a lot of emotions in there, and sometimes it brings up a lot of misunderstandings. So comment below your thoughts. If you need help with this, check out the description. That's where all the nuggets are. Other than that, remember, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.